We are here to make that labor visible and saying that the need has grown from the community, from what is happening in our city, in the state, in our world. It has said, like, what do? There's all this trauma, there's all of this heartbreaking. We're saying we have the answers, we have the capacity. What we don't have is the resource and the infrastructure for that to happen. So if we could have the resource and infrastructure to be met with the capacity of the people that we have, then together we could move and get some things done. And so we don't want to have to be in a situation of having to beg, borrow, trying to figure out from scraps to figure out how to do this. It's like, if in fact we are serious about people being well and about people being healed, then we're asking very point blankly that if you really want the city to be well, here is an investment that needs to be made.
I try to come to work every day, with the perspective that most people want to do the right things. I just think they don't know how. So as an example, after the Jamar Clark incident, there were a couple of departments that felt they had enough, they were well equipped enough to be able to have some safe space conversations for people. I remember talking to a colleague of mine, and he said he was really nervous about doing that because he didn't know if the conversation was going to spin out of control, and he didn't have the tools necessary to be able to deal with that. So he was well intentioned and wanted to provide a place where employees who were affected could have a conversation about it amongst their colleagues and amongst their peers. But he was just nervous about it, had never done it before. So I think people really want to do it. There's all kind of development that happens inside the city. People will teach you how to operate a computer. They'll teach you how to learn how to do the budget. They'll teach you, how to do a spreadsheet. But nobody really teaches you how to sit down and have a personal conversation with an employee who's going through something in their lives.
There are certainly a lot of gaps that exist, especially within immigrant communities. You have you're dealing with people who have cultures who view mental health as a stigma, who have language barriers, who do not know where these resources are located, if these resources exist in their communities. So there's this need for a much deeper understanding of the kind of trauma that they go through, an outreach from the city that reaches out to these communities, that sort of gives them the kind of help that they seek in a more friendly way, whether it's something that bridges the language gap, whether it's something that is tied to spirituality, working in these communities directly on trauma or mental illnesses is key here. Most of the women that we work with have also this inherent fear of law enforcement because of the kind of trauma that they dealt with on their way to the U.S. So they are not quick to seek help if they need so. So something that reaches out to them that puts them more at ease for getting connected to the resources in their communities is needed.